Hello, viewers. Welcome to today's episode of Ascension TV. My name is Emedike Mary Jane, and I'll be your host for today. Well, today I'll be discussing the concept of love and lust. What do you think you know about love, and what do you think you know about lust? Why not join me while I go welcome my guest in order for us to talk more on this topic? Well, before I go, are you joining us for the first time? Why not click on the subscription button? Like this video, comment. Let me know what you think about the concept of love and lust. Thank you. Welcome back, viewers. Today with me I have my lovely guests. Permit me to allow them make the introduction of their name.
My name is Mr. Temilolu Afoshido.
I am Mr. Ayo Akinyemi.
I'm Mrs. Oguni Ibolale.
Thank you very much, my guests. Well, like I said, today we'll be discussing the concept of love and lust. With me, I have Mr. Ayo. Obviously, looking at him, you know that he had gone a long way, and he'll be able to tell us more on this. Daddy, please, what do you think about the concept love and lust?
There's a thin line between love and lust. When you look at the grammatical definition, having affectionate feeling, that's love. But there are some other attachments to it. It could be sexual or whatever. Then lust, having feelings too, but for some material motives. You see, love could be deep, depending the way you look at it. But lust is just ephemeral. Just want to have a taste and snap.
Sorry, Miss Bola, do you think the same way? Do you think saying what it is?
Yeah, of course. In my own little understanding, I feel like love could just be like, lust rather, just the physical and sexual. Like when you see someone, you just lust after his physical, and all you want is just to get down with the person. But love has to do with like emotion, like a very deep emotion and connection.
Thank you very much. What about you?
Well, for me, I feel like love is a very difficult thing to explain in simple terms. But I think that the best way that love is expressed is when one person can care for another without wanting anything in return. You just want the best for the other person. I think that's the greatest expression of love, and it exemplifies itself in the way Jesus Christ loves us, and the greatest sacrifice which he gave for us, for our salvation. He doesn't want anything in return. He just gave himself up for our salvation, and I think that's the greatest example of love. And for lust, like Daddy said, lust is just, now the difference here is that for lust you want something. For love, that you don't want anything, you just want the best for the person, and it's pure and it's simple. But for lust, you want something, and the moment you stop getting that thing, you realize that there's nothing there, So that's lust. It's just ulterior motives. You want, you just want something that is pleasurable to you, and that's it for me.
Daddy, we could tell that during your time, how were you able to tell if you were really in love or you were in lust? Like, some people will see love as infatuation, How were you able to tell that, no, this is love and not lust?
You see, it's very, very difficult to have a right definition for love. In those days, the first attraction we have to a woman is the physical appearance. It's after that, this lady is beautiful, nice face, nice physique. But later, when you now come closer, you try to identify some other qualities that the fellow has. Then you now see, can I have a very deep affection for this person? Do I want a relationship with this person? Or just peck and go, like we used to say in those days?
I guess it's the same way. It's the same way in this generation, is it?
Just peck and go, peck.
So you're literally saying is it the same way in this new generation?
Yeah,
What are they
I think it's going to be the same way in every generation. It's what it is.
Okay, so
Yes.
how are you able to tell that you're in love with somebody in this generation or you're actually lost?
So I think that time tells. You know, after months and years have passed, and you realize that you don't get that pleasure that you used to get from the person. All those things have gone, and you still want the best for the person. That's the difference. That's the difference. Time has passed, and you still want the best for the person every day for many years. That's love. So love cannot prove itself in 1 day or 2 days. Do you understand? Lust can be proven in 2 weeks or one. Lust is short-lived, but love is eternal. So
I wouldn't know. As a female, I think it's most times difficult to tell when I'm in love or I'm in lust. So Miss Bolan, being a female, how were you able to tell that you were in love with your husband and not in lust?
Yeah, for me, I don't know. I think it could be different with people, but for me, I could tell because when I'm into something, I'm doing something, and as much as, no matter how much I try, like to get that thing or want that thing, I don't just feel this peace within. But for me, like it's a peace from within, and it's not just about you like trying to make it work. Like you can see that your partner is also making a conscious effort to be with you. He's trying to like be a better person for you, not just how do I say it? Trying to be a better person for you, and I feel like most times we just try to ignore some certain things, and again, you feel like some things that you really, really feel like you desire. When you are in love, then you see that those things does not really, really matter.
Sorry, Mr. Tim, is it the same way as a male? Is it the same way you feel it?
yes, absolutely. I agree with her, and I want to listen more to what she's saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Where was I? Where did I stop? Yeah. Yes. Like you realize that some things actually doesn't really matter, because for someone like for youths of nowadays, you feel like, oh, the guy he has to be very handsome, you have to have money, you have to know how to talk, speak good English and all of that. But when you're with someone that like you're really in love, then you realize that like it just flows naturally. You understand? Like you don't struggle to love someone; it comes naturally.
I see Dad is nodding his head.
Yeah, really, you see, when I take my own as an example, the way I started with my wife, we are just friends. I was like a confidant to her because I'm a bit older. But she has that attraction. And I appreciate her intelligence, that for her age, she could have such a high IQ. You see, so eventually we got closer. Then I realized that there are some other aspects of her that are good, that you cannot easily find in any other girls of her age. You see, so we were friends before we even became lovers. So the affection grew gradually, and before you knew it, and I can say basically there was never a place where we said, okay, will you marry me? It was just a natural flow. So like she said, love is natural. It will just regenerate itself without even any effort, and before you realize it, you are deeply in it.
Well, thank you very much. Mr. Temi, as a single male, I don't know whether single and searching or single and not searching, what will you tell somebody? Maybe you see someone who is currently in love or falling in love. How would you be able to advise the person that no, you're actually not in love, you are in lust? Advise the person generally now.
Well, I don't know. It's very difficult to advise people on love and such topics. You can only advise yourself
Like they
about
say.
these things. Yes, because love is blind, Abby.
Oh, of
you
course.
know, and lust is probably blinder because. So what can you say? But for me, I feel like I've gotten to a place where, because I'm actually, am I searching? I think I'm searching, but I'm searching in a very relaxed manner because I've chopped breakfast, last year or so, and after the breakfast, I was searching purposefully, like I was searching too hard, and then I realized that I'm working too hard at it. I should just sit back and let things come naturally, like they've been saying, because I was just so at the point where I was searching too hard, I was looking at the things that I really liked. Do you understand? I said, oh, this is my spec, so yes, I must talk to this girl, or this is, and then I realized that it wasn't working out, because I was forcing it, so now I've come to a place where I just want to relax and see how it works, and if the person comes along, and it's not about spec now, there are so many things to look at. I'm getting older, and I'm looking at marriage, and there are so many things to look at in a marriage instead of spec and all that stuff. Yeah.
You heard him. So, Miss Bola, please advise somebody not to go into lust, but to love. Just advise them.
Just like he said, I feel that's so deep. Like when someone is in lust, like I'm sure that the person can be totally blind. But as a child of God, I feel like just keep praying. Just like I said, I feel like God speaks with everyone. But you just need to discover and realize how God speaks to you. Just like I said the other time, that when I'm doing something and that thing is not right or is not for me, no matter how much I try, I don't just feel that peace within. So as a child of God, because now it's beyond, I feel like in marriage or love, sometimes it's more spiritual than it's physical. So as a child of God, you can go down in prayer, to go to God, speak to God, and let's just discover how God's. You don't necessarily have to hear the voice of God that my son, my daughter, well, just discover how God speaks to you, and don't be too, be vulnerable. Be vulnerable in the sense that don't just let your emotions to take over you. Be vulnerable. Allow the Spirit of God to minister to you, and allow people that are more experienced than you, allow their opinions or their advices, allow it to sink into you, and pick the one you feel is good for you. And I feel like,
well, lastly, Daddy, you have to do this judgment. You've had a lot of experience, so please advise us, the youth of now. Tell us how for us not to go into lust, but go into love.
Thank you so much. I think my guy really really knocked it on the head. You don't rush into it. You allow it to pace itself out. Because what you see at first sight, I don't believe there is love at first sight. The first sight you see somebody is the attraction, physical attraction. Oh, this lady is pretty. This guy is handsome. But there is more to getting involved in a relationship than this physical appearance or attraction. So take time to study wherever you want to get close to. So taking time, don't allow emotion to run into your head. Then by taking time and assessing the person, really there will be some attributes you want in a woman or a man you want to spend the rest of your life with. But you don't be too hard on those, because there could be some other things that are hidden in the person that won't come immediately, that you realize with time. You see, but there should be some basics. This lady has to be educated, yes, to a level. I can't marry an illiterate, so that you'll be able to relate at a level, because I can't get involved with a woman that you throw discussion out. I won't have contributions, meaningful contributions of that person. Your mate should be near the same level with you, that you can communicate with, that you realize what you desire and will be a support for you. Then the love now will grow. Like we have in Corinthians 13, all the elements of love are there. Love is natural, no hate. You don't have to jealous. You see, all those things are there. All this chapter 13 contain the 13 verses of chapter 13 of 1 Corinthians tells everything. But as a man, as a young man, as a young lady, take your time. Don't be carried away by emotion. as my sister said, as my guy said, take your time.
Thank you very much. Dear viewers, you've heard it all. But I'd like to tell you that love is so deep. But you see, lust is just a mere sexual desire that you get. It's just a pleasure you get, and that's all. So do not be confused with the difference between love and lust. But when you are confused, why not seek advice from people? Pray over it so that God will direct you. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next week. Bye.